At the start of the pandemic, rents for luxury apartments in big cities plunged, with landlords slashing prices by hundreds or even thousands of dollars and throwing in free amenities and perks. But around much of the country, rents for lower-income apartments stayed the same or rose higher, exacerbating inequality. Special correspondent and Washington Post columnist Catherine Rampell has the story.
Brett Vergara is up in the clouds.
Yeah, it's pretty dang magical, I would say.
He just got the Brooklyn apartment of his dreams, after all.
You got World Trade over there, Empire State Building, all the bridges.
It's a huge upgrade from where he lived before, says his mom, Catherine Starr, visiting from Syracuse.
I remember the first time bringing him down here and dropping him off at his first basement apartment with bars on the walls in a tiny little 8x10 room. And I'm like, why do you love New York City so much?
I look out here and feel lucky and humbled and grateful, to say the least.
He feels lucky because he got this 49th floor view for a bargain basement price.
Rents have been dropping significantly, especially in really dense urban areas such as New York City and San Francisco.
Nancy Wu, economist at real estate sites Zillow and StreetEasy.
The biggest discounts are in some of the most expensive neighborhoods and anywhere up to 5 months of free rent.
I was stalking StreetEasy and looking at like the listing history, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be home, it's just a matter of when.
Vergara, a tech worker, first zeroed in on the building in August when he was still renting a place with 3 roommates. The apartment was posted in October for $3,000, nearly $1,000 less than what it had rented for pre-pandemic. He then watched the price fall almost daily for 3 months.
Then just swooped in.
In the end,
it's like $2,650-ish, 2.5 months free.
So that's a pretty deep discount.
Yeah, even in my dreams, like theoretically dreams don't have restrictions, right? Did not dream of this.
But not everyone is getting a great deal.
When I started, my rent was $900. It is now $1,500.
That ain't right.
Faye Porter is a tenant organizer in Chicago and a paralegal who lost her job during the pandemic. She's been fighting rent increases for a decade now, including a $70 hike last June.
This is how I have to heat my apartment in the wintertime.
While she's watched her living conditions deteriorate.
Plumbing issues, electrical issues. I've had a fire in my apartment, a gas leak. Our carpet hasn't been cleaned at least in 2 years, and it's never vacuumed. The building smells bad, so this is what I have to do.
Tell me more about the heat. That's been a chronic problem, right?
Definitely. Last year was the worst.
This is the ice inside my bathroom window.
These are the portable heaters she had to buy.
I had to get 5 to make sure that the apartment stays warm to some degree.
So those sound like pretty substandard conditions.
Yes.
How come Brett Vergara scores a great deal in a luxury apartment and Faye Porter can't catch a break?
People get stuck in here too.
The K-shaped recovery that's been present in labor markets is also showing up in housing markets.
Economist Jenny Schutz means the 2-track recovery, where the rich get richer and the poor get left behind.
So higher income renters who still kept their job, who have strong credit scores and have some assets, have taken advantage of low interest rates and this time to become first-time homeowners.
Many decamped to the suburbs or beyond, leaving a lot of vacant luxury rentals behind.
But at the same time, low-income renters who have had job losses and income losses and really don't have a lot of choices about where to live, they're actually seeing somewhat higher rents at the low end of the rental sector.
Because of increased demand for cheaper housing, they're competing with middle-income renters who may also have lost jobs.
People who maybe were in a slightly nicer or larger apartment before, who are having to downshift or downgrade a little bit.
Robin Schwartz is one of those downshifters.
I had a balcony, I had a dishwasher, I had the washer-dryer, and I had really decent-sized rooms that you could walk around in.
A health and lifestyle coach in Chicago, Schwartz's business dried up last year. She wanted to move, but she was struggling with long-haul COVID.
I had terrible, terrible difficulty breathing. I still have difficulty breathing, like now. And the fatigue and the brain fog, the coughing and the racing heart, and feeling that way to have to go try to find another apartment was a bit of a nightmare.
Was it difficult to find a place that was within your budget?
Yes. In fact, what ended up happening was the prices began to rise. So where I'd started looking at one bedrooms, as a couple of months passed, they were charging for a studio what they had been charging for one bedroom.
She ended up taking a studio about half the size of her old apartment, and with none of the perks.
Have you been monitoring what's happened to your old apartment?
The price dropped enormously after I moved out to like $1,550 or something.
Down from about $2,000. Even though high-end units like her old place are getting cheaper,
The windows don't fit properly.
they're still out of reach for many low-income tenants. The wait list for financial assistance is long and offers no guarantees.
You've probably seen that in lots of neighborhoods where the rental prices are higher, they've been falling.
I've seen rents go from $3,000 to $1,500.
That's her current rent.
Some of the places are wonderful. I've looked at them. There's this particular loft. I wanted it so bad, he said I had it, until I said I had a housing choice voucher. And it was over. Because of preconceived notions that if you have a Section 8 tenant, then drugs is going to come with them, some unsupervised children, they're not going to keep their house clean, and also they're people of color. I've had that happen to me at least 20 times.
Illegal, but all too common. And one reason why the high-end rent cuts haven't yet filtered down to the neediest.
It's not helping the people who don't have vouchers in the first place, or people who are still facing pushback from landlords from taking their vouchers. So these are bigger problems that still need to be addressed.
Other policies intended to help distressed tenants may also have some unintended consequences for rents.
Landlords may be trying to sort of balance out the overall building income, given that some of the tenants in there aren't able to pay, but because of the eviction moratorium, they're still in there. So they're losing income on some of the units, and they may be trying to make that up by raising rents on tenants who still have jobs and can afford to pay.
And many landlords have little wiggle room.
Rents at the low end kind of have a floor based on just the cost of utilities and the mortgage and property tax and so forth. So you can't have much softening.
We just don't have enough affordable rental housing in this country is the big problem.
Caitlin Walter, National Multifamily Housing Council.
We say that you need to build about 325,000 apartment units every year in order to keep up with just that year's demand. And there were many, many years, almost a decade, where we didn't meet that annual demand.
So there's been a glut of units at the high end, though prices there are rising again as superstar cities reopen.
I would say this past year, to sum it up, is like guilty gratitude, where I feel like I got away with something here.
While those hit hardest by the pandemic,
This has been really hard.
feel like they're being left behind.
And the unfairness has been especially upsetting.
It angers me. It's a fight every day to deal with the housing situation. And sometimes I'm tired, everybody gets tired of fighting.
The only way we can fight this is to get organized.
But fight she does, starting with her next rent increase, another $50 a month.
Because we all need and deserve a safe, clean, decent, affordable place to live.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Catherine Rampell.